What are the 12 stages of intimacy, and why is it critical that you do them in order? So the 12 stages of intimacy are basically the progress that will take you from attraction to the ultimate end in seduction, which is, of course, intercourse. So if you get these out of order, then you will either not get to the end game goal, or it will be really awkward and it will take longer. So it's really important that you do each of these stages in its order. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to take forever doing each of these stages. You can actually move through the stages quickly if you're doing them in order. There is one stage that will take a little bit longer depending on the intention of the relationship that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a hookup, it's going to be a lot quicker. And if you're looking for a long-term committed relationship with someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, that particular stage is going to take a little longer. So what are the 12 stages of intimacy? So of course, the first stage is eye to body. So what that basically is you are noticing someone that is attractive to you. So you see them and the way they look is attractive to you. That brings us straight into stage number 2 is eye to eye. So that's when they see you back and they also share an attraction with you. So it's either obvious, or you might have to look a little longer or look a little deeper or gauge a little better, but there is some sense of a mutual attraction based on eye contact. And it could be the way she's looking at you with her eyes, or that she holds her eye contact with you, or that she looks back at you several times, but you'll get the sense that there is mutual attraction based on eye-to-eye contact. And then the third stage is voice to voice. So it doesn't have to actually be communication via words. Like, you can have an actual verbal communication or conversation with the person, or it could be via text or IM or on a dating site, or any kind of message that uses words. So whether it's written word or verbalized words, you're sharing words. And this is the stage that can take the longest depending on what your intention of the relationship is. So if you're looking for a short-term quick hookup, you're going to advance through the verbal communication, communicado, in order to get down to your commando and be able to have sexual intimacy with that person quicker. Now, if you, of course, are looking for a longer-term relationship, or you think you might be, then this is a stage that might take longer before getting to the next stage. And a side note here is that if you are looking for something that's more serious, you are better off, I know lots of people will tell you differently, but you are better off to get to know the person a little bit before getting sexual, because if you get sexual first, and that's amazing, then you're going to ignore the red flags that you otherwise might not. So just be careful about that, because if you have great sex, if you advance to the next stages really quickly, which you can do, but if that's not the right person for you long term, you may get sucked in because of that great connection you have in the bedroom, but that doesn't mean that there's actual compatibility. Sexual chemistry does not equal compatibility. So remember that. So that is voice to voice. So then the next stage of intimacy is hand to hand. So this is where you're going to graze her hand or even hold her hand. So depending on what the signs are, as far as her reacting to how you're handling the situation, will determine how quickly you can move into straight hand holding or just kind of testing the waters. And her reaction will tell you a lot about whether or not it's okay to do that. And if you're at all unsure, then you can say, is this okay? Like, if she lets you hold her hand, but you're not sure, just say, is this okay? And if she is really okay with it, then she'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. You know, but it's also a good way of you getting express consent, because anytime that you're going for physical contact, nowadays, it's really important that you get express consent, not even just applied consent, which is kind of like, oh, well, it seemed like she gave me consent. No, you actually have to get consent nowadays. So that's the next one, is hand to hand. And the next one after that is hand to shoulder. So you're going to either touch her on the shoulder or squeeze her shoulder, or put your arm around her shoulder and kind of squeeze her in toward you. So it's more intimate and personal, and you're also kind of showing the world, making a public acknowledgement that this is sort of your person, even if it's just for the night. So that's the next step, is hand to shoulder. And then the next step from there is actually hand to waist. This is when you're going to actually touch her waist or put your arm around her waist or hold her waist. The midsection is a vulnerable area. So you know that if you go up to somebody and just touch them on their waist, if someone did that to you, let's say just a guy comes up and does that to you, you're going to be like, whoa, dude. You know, so that is why these stages have to be done in a proper order in order for them to be most effective and not feel weird, and for the woman to feel safe. It's a woman's primary need to feel safe. So she does want to feel, you know, a sense of danger, but she wants to feel safe with you. This can also look like giving her a hug, either from behind or in front. You know, you're hugging her, so it's your arms around her body. And then the next one from that is mouth to mouth. Now, we're not talking CPR here. We're talking you're going to kiss her. So if all of that is okay and she's feeling comfortable with that and giving you signs that that's okay, then the next stage is mouth to mouth. So you're going to kiss her, and you're actually going to be surprised, because the next stage might seem like you should do it first, but you should actually do it after you've already kissed her once. If you're really certain, you maybe are able to switch these two up. So the very next one is hand to head, so hand to face. So it's like, touching her hair, caressing her face, holding her face. Like, women love it when you do this. And the reason why that is more intimate than actually kissing someone is because, again, by kissing, you're getting reciprocation. It's very clear if you're getting reciprocation, whereas when you're touching someone, that's not a reciprocal action, and you're touching someone in a vulnerable place. Like, again, if somebody came up to you and just touched your face, or someone came up to you and just kissed you, you'd be like, whoa. But it's also higher level of vulnerability by touching anywhere on the head. You know, if you hold your, women also love it when you do this, when you sort of put your hand around the back of their neck and kiss them, or, you know, that sort of thing. It's really, really a major turn on, but it has to be done in the right sequence. Otherwise it feels weird. And I actually had a guy touch my face once, and it was out of sequence. I realized later, I'm like, why was that so creepy? Because it totally took me off guard, and I was instantly turned off and did not ever see him again. But it was because it was out of sequence and there wasn't any express or applied, what's the other word? Or even assumed consent in there. So that's the next one, is hand to head. And then the next one from there, this is where you can now start advancing fairly quickly if you're looking for sexual escalation. So it's hand to body. So you're basically, you know, I don't know what they call it in the old days, first base. Like you're basically touching everywhere except for the goodie zone, which is like the genital area. So if you're touching her body, then that's the next stage. And then the next stage after that is actually mouth to body. So this is where you can now start kissing her on the body. You could start up where, you know, she's comfortable. You've already kissed her. So then you can start working your way down on her neck, on her shoulders, on her back. You can kiss her on the décolletage, I didn't even say that right, in her chest area, her tummy, her feet, wherever except for, again, the genital area. So you still can't go there just yet. I know you want to, and you'll get there. And if you're just looking for sex, or even if you aren't just looking for sex, but you've advanced already through multiple times of communication, or you've just gotten to know each other well enough that you know that you want to have a relationship with each other, you can advance at this stage fairly quickly into the next categories if you do it in the right stages, in the right order. So then once you go from mouth to body, then the next thing is actually hand to body. So this is where you get to touch the goodies. And so then that's obviously a lot more personal. And this could also include oral. Hope I don't get in trouble for saying that on YouTube, but that is included in that. And then from there, you're going to the final stage, which is intercourse. And again, even along all of these physical stages, you need to be asking the woman for her consent. Is this okay? Does this feel good? Those are not going to be turnoffs to say to a woman, does this feel good? Do you like this? Are you okay with this? She's going to say yes, yes, yes. If she's like into it for sure, yes, yes, yes. And she's going to not only appreciate that you're asking her and appreciate that you're respecting her, but the way you say it can also be a turn on. So if you're saying it in a really sultry and seductive way, then it can actually enhance her arousal while at the same time protecting you legally. If you don't do them in order, it's going to feel awkward. She's not going to feel safe. She's going to want to go slower so that you can go back and do the steps properly. But if you do these in order, then you will get to the end result that you're looking for. And if at any point in time, remember this, if at any point in time she says no or stop or not right now or I'm not ready, you have to listen to that, because otherwise you could be in big trouble and you won't get what you want with her or possibly with anyone, because you'll be in jail getting it from some dude. And that's no fun, unless that's your thing, which means you shouldn't be on my channel. Anyway, okay, so I hope that helped. If it did, please give me a like, subscribe, share, and do hit the notification bell. That way you get notified of my new videos right away. And if you have any comments, then write it in the comments below. A reminder that YouTube only notifies me of comments on my most recent video. So if I don't answer there, then find me on a new video and ask your question on that one. And hopefully I will either make a video for you, or at least I'll answer it in the comments. Thanks a lot for being here, and go forth and frolic and be successful.